Hey, welcome to a Yoga Download. I'm Kristen Boyle, and this is a short prenatal practice that will hopefully bring you a little bit of relief to those sore spots that tend to bug us, mainly the hips and low back, but also a little bit into the shoulders as well. So what I want you to make sure you have are some blocks, a bolster or a sturdy pillow, a chair, and a blanket, and all of these props we're going to use. So we'll start in a pose called Virasana, or hero's pose. A lot of people will need more height, so don't be afraid to give yourself more height. I like to start with a block, and I'll just show. I want the block right between your feet. Your feet can actually squeeze it, and then you're going to sit back. But what you want to make sure is that your heels are on the outside of your hips and not tucked under. There's a slight internal rotation at the upper thighs, and that gives you a little bit more space through the low back. So when the legs rotate externally, it actually compresses the sacrum. So this should give you some relief. If one block's not enough, please grab two. You can sit however high that you need to sit with this. You can also sit up on a bolster. So find that place that's comfortable and soften your gaze or close your eyes. One hand can come to your heart, one hand to your baby, your belly, and take 5 slow breaths. Count to 4, 5, 6 on the inhale, and the exhale, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in, and breathing out. Just 2 more breaths. And so as we move through this practice, I just want to note if there's any position, posture, shape that you would like to stay in a little bit longer, please pause the video. You can always restart it when you're ready. But this one, a little bit of easy twisting. Grab your bolster or a couple of stiff pillows so you have enough height. You're going to start with your right hip right up against the bolster. And then lay down over the bolster. You're going to walk, so your belly is right here, right? So you're not going to get a deep twist, but you're going to walk that left arm in front of you and lengthen. So the idea is that this top side of your body, the left side, is getting a little bit more length and stretch. And so right here, you can always bring a hand under your chin or wherever you need to make yourself comfortable. Gaze to the left if you want a little bit more of a twist, or the right, excuse me. Gaze to the right, gaze to the left if it's too much. 5 breaths. Breathing into that side body. And every exhale, you're releasing just a little bit more. Good, one more deep, full breath. And then start to walk your hands back up. So always using your hands to support you. So your belly's not doing the work. Turn away from the bolster, then you'll face the left. So left hip right up against the bolster, hands on either side, walk yourself down so you're laying down, and then take that right hand in front of you. Adjust as needed. So depending on the size of your belly, you may be able to complete the twist by gazing to the left. You may need to back out of it by gazing to the right. Notice how your body feels the whole time. And breathe. These 5 long, slow breaths are super important. If you're truly breathing 5 to 6 counts per breath, per inhale, 5 to 6 counts per exhale, it takes about a minute to breathe 5. If you think of a contraction in labor and delivery, that's about a minute. So when you know what it feels like to breathe slow and deep, you can breathe through anything. So go ahead and return, walk your hands up, and turn so your back is at the bolster. You might need a blanket for this one. If it's too low to lay all the way down, so you'll just place the blanket towards the top of your bolster. Again, your back is right up against the bolster. If the bolster's height is still too much for your low back, sit on a blanket as well. So you're just trying to create the height that's most valuable for you. Lay all the way down, use your hands to guide yourself there. Arms can be opening through the chest. You can take arms out to the side. You can also draw your arms up and overhead. Each place of the arms will open the shoulders in a different way. See what feels beneficial to you. Now with your legs, I have mine crossed. You can also plant your feet, knees together. You can bring your feet together, knees wide, Baddha Konasana, or you can straighten your legs. So continue to breathe. Move around as it feels right. And take 2 more slow, low breaths. Good. And then as we exit, always to exit, bend your knees first. Let your knees fall over to the side, roll to the side, and then use your hands to guide you up. All right, we can move these props. And place your blanket on your chair and move your chair towards the front of your mat, just so you're ready. All right, now plant your hands, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Widen your feet as needed. You're always creating more space for your baby. We let go of all of those alignment cues that we've heard, and we let our body find its own space. If down dog is getting hard for you and being on your hands is getting hard for you, try a down dog with the chair. Take 2 more deep breaths. Hug your baby in, get longer through the torso. Good, then walk your feet up to meet your hands. Bend your knees deep, elbows to your thighs. This is your goddess squat. Hands in yoni mudra, so the backs of your pinky, ring finger, and middle finger together. Index finger and thumb touch. It's a downward moving energy, good for birth. And then we'll stand tall. Grow all the way up. Reach your arms high. And exhale, hands to heart. One hand to heart, one hand to baby. And be here now in this moment with this body, with this baby, with this breath. Good, so now we'll move down towards the floor. Plant your hands on the chair, step your left foot back. Grab your 2 blocks. Blocks are gonna go on the inside of your front foot. So if you can't see where my foot is, I'm angling it out to the side, and it's wide, right? I don't wanna let my knee flop, but I do want that angle. And then bring your blocks forward. Use the highest height, because you can always bend your elbows. It's always better here to just give yourself more height, more space. Ease yourself into this, forward and back. You can always bring a blanket under that back knee if you need to. And then eventually you'll let yourself hang out. If you can make it to your forearms, do. Drop your head forward. Relax, breathe. Every exhale allows you to go just a little deeper. One more big breath. Good, then walk your hands up. So place your blocks to the side. You need your chair this time. So hands on the chair. Straighten your back leg, straighten your front leg, keep them wide. So I'm not trying to be on one rail, but my feet are more like on train tracks. And right here, you can walk your hands forward, pyramid pose. Press down through your right big toe, pull your right hip back. You can let your forehead be on the chair. You can bring a block onto the chair. See what your body needs right now. There's strength in my back leg. I'm rotating my thigh away from me. I'm pressing down through my right big toe and pulling my right hip back. So take all of those actions for yourself as you allow your torso to ease forward. Two more breaths. Send the breath to your back body. Go ahead and walk your hands back up. We'll switch it out. Step forward with your right foot, back with forward with your left foot, back with your right. Knee to the mat. Again, you're widening. Toes point out slightly. Blocks under your hands. Let yourself ease into it. Just forward and back, forward and back. Eventually, you're going to settle. Forearms to the blocks. Let your hips come forward. Make sure your knees not splaying out, but you're staying steady. And let your head hang. Continue to breathe. Two more deep breaths. Good, then walk your hands back up. So now you'll need the chair, pyramid pose. Keep your feet exactly as they are, just straighten your back leg, and then step that back foot forward only enough that you can get your heel down. So then that back leg rotates away from you. In the front foot, you're pressing down through the big toe. Pull your left hip back. Lengthen your torso forward. Once again, you can always use a block for more height. See if you can find a place where you can settle in. There's some strength and intensity in the legs, but there's a releasing and relaxing that can also happen. And so for myself, I have 2 teenagers, and I've gone through the labor and delivery process twice, and I can say there is a lot of intensity and strength that needs to be there, and there also needs to be a letting go. So your legs are holding, your torso's letting go. See if you can find that duality. Hug your baby in, get longer through the torso. 2 more breaths. Good, then release that. Walk your hands back up. You'll step forward, and now we're going to move the chair to the side of the mat and step nice and wide. So this is a Prasarita Padottanasana. This is a wide-legged forward fold. This chair is your prop, so that you don't have to go too far or too low. So hands on the chair, just lengthen. Hug your baby in, get longer through the torso. Send your sitting bones back and wide. And back and wide means you're actually internally rotating the thighs, so you're trying to move them inwards. Your toes face straight forward or even slightly in. And that gives a lot more space in the sitting bones, which also gives more space to the pelvic opening. You can let your head drop here, just letting everything open. Then from there, you'll walk up. You might want to keep holding onto the chair, or maybe you can bring your hands to the floor, Skandasana. So bend into the right knee. As you drop your hips, you can turn the left toes up and down. So getting a little bit more into that back leg. And then Skandasana to the back. Again, drop your hips. Turn your toes up and down. Go ahead and come back. This time we'll come to a low lunge, wiggle that foot wide, and then step back to a downward facing dog. Take 3 deep breaths here. Press down through the soft spot between your index finger and thumb. That's where you want to press to get longer through the armpits. Hug your baby in. Soft bend in your knees, soft in your heels, lift your hips. And drop back down to your knees. All right, so setting up for our final resting, Shavasana. You're going to unroll your blanket, roll it up, and we will only be here for a few moments. So again, laying flat on your back for a long period of time is contraindicated. You will know because you will feel nauseous, you'll feel dizzy, something will feel unright. And so just know that. So bring your feet together. Your rolled up blanket's gonna go over your feet and tuck under your hips. Then you can let your knees open. Pull your bolster right behind your back, and then go ahead and lay down. So it's a supported Supta Baddha Konasana. Arms can be out to the side. If this is too intense, of course you can undo the legs, you can roll to your side. There's so many places that you could go, so please take care of yourself. Take a deep breath in, and fully let go as you exhale. Now take a deeper breath in. Exhale it out. Do that a few times if it feels like what's needed to reawaken your body. And then begin to wiggle fingers, toes, circle ankles and wrists, maybe straighten your legs. Take your arms up and overhead for a full body stretch. And then always to rise up from laying down, bend your knees, roll over to your side so far that your shoulder even comes down towards the floor. Then use your hands. Your hands will guide you up to seated. Find your seat. Eyes soft or closed, hand over heart, hand over baby. In this moment, we connect with this breath. Palms touch, thumbs do third eye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.